Why do you fly? What is it? Why are you drawn to it?
Why does a bird soar? Why does a fish swim? Huh? Why does anybody love? Why in God's name would you ever want to look at the Mona Lisa in the Musée du Louvre? Huh? Why wouldn't you want to stare at Michelangelo's David? Why would you ever want to see a Shakespearean play? Why wouldn't you want to soar among the clouds? I cannot fathom the answer to that. You have to. It's because it's who you are. I'm Jenna Ware, Mrs. Joseph F. Ware Jr. Of the Ware Lab at Virginia Tech. Joe was a conservative Christian Republican, 40 years older than I, and I am a liberal Democrat, Jewish, transsexual, and I call that a mixed marriage. That Joe is the kind of man who has no prejudice in his heart is proved by the fact that he married me. I've been on the fringes of ousted, not welcome in society, and I have been able to sidestep some of those concerns in the flying world. And Joe was a commercial grade pilot, and flew with him all over this country. On one of our trips, and we had made a couple of trips back to Blacksburg because this was Joe's old hometown. And we're walking around Virginia Tech, and he goes up and he shows me Holden Hall, and this is my classroom, right? And we're doing all of this, and we connect with engineering. We spent some time talking with Walter O'Brien, Charlie Reinholtz, and Hayden Griffin, PhDs. They took us around just because Joe is just an alumnus. And we're saying, okay, here's this project, and here's the, I think it was Baja cars, and here's the autonomous, but they were in different buildings in basements. They were just wherever you can find a room. So then we go back home, and so now we're back here, in this area. So, and we're at the house, and Joe had talked about the skunk works for a few years, and I just sit around and I said, Joe, those guys need a skunk works. Those students need a skunk works up there. Turns out, if I have my story straight, because I don't mean to leave anyone out, but I believe that Hayden Griffin had already had that same thought. They had a meeting of the minds, and it was a marriage of ideas, and Joe contributed some money, and then once they got it established, other people started throwing money at it. Then they had an opening. They got it all figured up. I think it was 8 bays. It was quite significant.